Hi, I'm Lisa with Ivy Lane Interiors, and today is a custom project.
My client simply wants to make these darker, so I'm going to try to tone the wood. So the way I'm going to do that is a few steps. First, I'm going to clean them, then I'm going to scuff sand them, then I'm going to clean it with a 50-50 mixture of denatured alcohol and water. I'm going to apply gel stain. I'm going to see if I can get the finish she wants. Let's go.
Unfortunately, even though they're in pretty good shape as far as the body, the tops had some damage on them. So when I saw them, I was like, well, you know what? We can try to tone it with the gel stain, but gel stain only does so much. It only covers so much. But I thought, you know what? We can at least try. And then if we have to, we can just strip it. So that's what we decided to do. This is the inspiration picture. It's a really dark espresso color. So that's the color that we're going for. So I'm just going to start by taking all the hardware off, and then I'll get a really good clean with a degreaser, and then we'll move on. I'm going to go ahead and start with a scuff sand with a 220 grit. I'm just basically just etching up the surface, kind of knocking back some of that shine so that I have good adhesion with the gel stain. Off camera, I did clean it with a 50-50 mixture of denatured alcohol and water. As a last step, I'm going to use liquid sandpaper. Now, this doesn't take the place of sandpaper, but it is a really great thing to use when you have really detailed areas that are hard to get to with your sandpaper. So I'm just going to go over it with this, and it's going to just kind of etch up that surface and just make sure that I have all of the areas that have really been touched so that, again, I have good adhesion with the gel stain. I'm using General Finishes Gel Stain in Java. This is an oil-based product. You're just going to wipe it on, wipe off the excess. I usually let it dry about 12 hours in between coats. It also depends on the temperature, the humidity. So you just want to make sure that it's really dry before you move on to your next coat, because I know I'm going to need at least probably 2 or 3 coats on this. They recommend 2 coats, but you can put in on more if you want. Again, I'm going for light coats. I'm not going for real heavy coats. So I'm just wiping it on, and then I'll pull off any excess. I'll keep layering it on until I get as close to the inspiration picture as I can. I'm trying a second coat on that one dresser top that has the damage on it. I'm really trying to see if I can get that to cover. I have my doubts, but you'll see in the end, it's just not going to cover it. It really did well on the other one, but you can still see those rings, and it really just needs a full refinish. But I told her I'd try, and I did. So this is after 2 coats. You can see that you really can see those water rings. And so I did go ahead and message her, sent her a video of them, and told her this is where we're at. So she opted to have it refinished. So we're going to just take all of that off the top. And I'm just going to refinish that one. The other one, thankfully, it did cover really well. But this one, it's just not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and strip it down to raw. And then I'll sand through the grits. I'll do 80, 120, 180, and then I'll be ready to come back and apply the gel stain. I like to apply a slip coat of mineral spirits before I put on my gel stain. It just kind of helps that gel stain to glide over the surface of the wood and just helps prevent any kind of lap marks or anything like that. It helps it go on really smoothly. You can see after just one coat, it's really beautiful. I really love this color. Obviously, it's not the color that she's going for, and we need to go even darker. So I'm just going to continue to apply some more coats of that gel stain to try to get it as dark as I can. So here is after 3 coats of the gel stain in Java, and I think we're getting really, really close. There's a few areas you can see I'm going to have to build up the top a little bit more, but we are getting there. I'm just going to touch up the sides there with the darker stain to make sure that you don't see that light wood when you push the drawers in. There's just these little steps that I need to make sure I catch. So this is about as dark as I can get it. I put on several light coats, but now we're ready to seal it up. My client has opted to go with a matte sealer, so I found this Minwax fast drying polyurethane in a warm flat, and so I thought I'd give it a try. I'm going to use my sprayer to apply it. You can see it goes on wet, but wait till you see when it dries. It's a beautiful finish. Because it's oil-based, I had to let it dry overnight, and then I'm ready to do my second coat. So I'm just going to set up my spray area, and I'm going to go ahead and get ready to do my second coat. So here's what it looks like when it's wet, and here's what it looks like when it's dry. Isn't that a beautiful finish? I'm really impressed. I really love this nice flat finish. So now we're just going to have to finish up a few little details. I've got some hardware to reattach and do some final touches. The hardware is a little unusual. Because of the curve, there was one long screw and one short screw. So the long screw went in where there was a little bit more of a curve, and then the short screw went into the outside area. I had a few more little touch-up areas, and now we're ready for pictures. Here is the before. This is where we started. Wanted to go really, really dark. Well, obviously, we had some damage on the top that I ended up having to strip down, but I was able to cover the damage on this one with the gel stain. Here's our inspiration picture, and here's our final product. I think we got really close. Isn't it beautiful? I think that finish really makes it a lot closer to the inspiration picture, because that picture is definitely more of a matte, kind of a flat finish. And so I think the Java with the flat finish is a really high upscale look. So enjoy some of these videos, and I'll come back at the end. Here's one more look at the before and the after. What do you think? Would you try this technique? Tell me in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.